Okay, just gone 8 o'clock in the morning. I've already been to the gym, feeling good. Okay, I'm now ready to have some breakfast, get going out the house, and today we're going to talk about my journey to where I am right now, and also that I actually used to live in Almere back in 2007. Now, in yesterday's vlog, I did say that I was going to talk about, moving to Almere, the idea that I lived here before back in 2007, and just what the whole deal is for being over here. Many moons ago, before I went to university and decided I want to do this talk show, the More Show, I had a company that was selling computer software, and this is back in the early 2000s. And the business partner that I've just split up from now was the one I used to be with back then. So we were connected years ago, and it was back in 2001 when we split up as business partners. And to cut a long story short, he did his own thing, I took the software company and continued that. And I also wanted to really do the toy store to see that through. So in 2007, with my then girlfriend, we moved here to Almere to start that toy company. And when we moved over here, our relationship was already on the rocks, right? So what happened was we split up while dating each other in Almere, while in that building that you're looking at now. That's the side-by-side building. That's what these two buildings are called. I used to live on the 3rd floor there. And when we split up, it destroyed me. It destroyed me so much that I just couldn't stay in Almere and see that company through on my own, because my head was in such the wrong place. And at that point, to cut a long story short again, I moved back to the UK, and then a year after that I decided to change my life and go to university, and I went and done a television degree, and that's how the More Show came about. So once uni was all over, and this was around 2015, I'm now living in Cardiff. I'm on the bones of my arse with money, nothing's working out. The More Show, I'm doing it, but it's not really paying anything. And then my partner, Joanna, she's a Malaysian, she left me to go back to Malaysia. It broke my heart. I was in pieces again, and I decided to go back to Cleethorpes, where my family was. And that was the best decision I did. And then I met my old business partner again, and we tried to get so many things up and running, so many ideas up and running, nothing worked. And in the end, I decided that maybe we should do the toy stuff. And I did it from the perspective of it would bring in money for me to be able to plow back in to the spiritual stuff that I'm doing, and I wouldn't have to be worried about issues of having to live off YouTube AdSense, because I'm never going to get massive viewing figures in this field that I do, because only a very small proportion of people out there are awake. And maybe if it was another 20 years time, maybe this show would be massive, but just right now it is where it is because of the type of people that watch it. And I'm so grateful for everyone that does watch it, but what I'm saying is it's for the awakening or awoken person, and most people aren't ready for this type of content that I do. So I had to do something else that was going to bring money in. And what I decided was, if I could do the toy thing from a spiritual perspective, right, to help people in their love life as well, from a completely different perspective this time, then that could work. So yeah, me and my ex-business partner, I decided that I would move here to Almere to make that project work, because I could do YouTube from anywhere. Now, little did I ever think that me and my business partner would not continue or work out. So this has all been a bit of a shock for me recently. Even though I was the one that ended it, I ended it for many reasons, because it was not working for him, and it definitely was not working for me. And I know I've done the right thing there. But you know, the funny thing is, coming back here, I think it was so true. Coming back here, I've actually not just come to do that business. I think I've come to heal myself from the pain of the last relationship I had here that I never healed. I feel that I left some part, this is going to sound weird, I left some part of me here that was not healed. Now, I feel I could leave here and never ever once again think of the feelings that this place used to associate when thinking about it, because I've healed that part of me. I've come back here to do that. Some people won't understand what I'm talking about, but I know this is true for me. Now, some people could say, well, you've come back here again, you know, and it's still not worked out doing that type of stuff. But it's a test, isn't it? How much do I really want it? And what's really come of this as well, this whole venture of coming over here and doing these toys, is the talk show that I'm going to do. That's most important to me. This talk show that's going to bring about healing, sexual healing into people's lives. Single males, single females, couples, gays, straight. We're going to cover the whole gamut, black, Asian, whatever, yeah? And I think that talk show is going to be so essential for some people. And no one does those type of talk shows in the spiritual arena too much just on those subjects. So I'm gonna... Do I know you? Oh my god, bear with me. My old bank manager just walked past me. I can't believe this. Oh my god, that's so surreal. Talk about a surreal moment. My bank manager from when I used to live here just walked past me, and he's like, I know you. I was like, oh my god, it's my old bank manager. So we're going for a coffee next week. He doesn't work for the bank anymore. The bank doesn't exist because in the economic collapse over here after I left, not due to me, but after I left. Yeah, some banks disappeared, and his was one of them. I just can't believe that. See, now tell me that's not the universe speaking to me. So I'm not completely sure where I am right there, because, but basically, it's the talk show. That's the end. That's what this is bringing me to come towards. I cannot not do that talk show. I feel destined to do it. Do you know that? That it's going to help so many people, and it's going to help me as well. You know, this isn't going to be some sleazy type talk show. This is going to be something of quality, most definitely. And that's thanks to my new producer, co-host. I'm not too sure yet. I would say producer, well, 100% producer, but I'm going to bring her into co-host one day, I will. But it's due to her as well, me meeting her, that these ideas have shifted into this more sensual, beautiful type of show that it's going to be. It's still going to be quite funny. The Howard Stern thing, yes, but not quite. Not quite. Coming over here was a big thing as well. Leaving Cleethorpes was a big thing. But just before I get on to that, I just want to say I feel very healed over here right now. And sometimes you think you're going for one thing, it's all about doing things and business and everything else, but I tell you what, the universe has different plans. Your soul has a different plan sometimes. You just do not realize that you're healing something deeper than what is just all external sometimes. You know, when I moved back from Cardiff to Cleethorpes, I think I went there for many reasons, and one of them was definitely to be healed. You know, I'd been in a relationship for almost 5 years where it was one of those relationships where there was no sex before marriage. Now, I stayed in that relationship and I was faithful, and there was a price to pay for it, most definitely, in some deeper aspects of me. But I think as well, it gave me a lot of healing that I needed. I think it did, actually, in other ways that maybe on my new type of talk show I'll talk about. Couldn't stay in Cleethorpes. If I hadn't moved to here in Almere, I would have probably in the end gone to some other place in the UK, maybe. But then I think about it and I think, no, maybe I wouldn't have done it. I was in my safety zone, and I had to get with my business partner for him to, and for me to push myself over here. Otherwise I would never have gone. I probably would have stayed in Cleethorpes because I've been like too scared to move to some other place in the UK that I maybe wanted to move to. I was thinking about London actually. Maybe I would have gone to London, but there wasn't much calling me in the UK. For me personally, there was no opportunities whatsoever. That's the truth as well. Now, just before I left the UK, I also met a young lady called Laura, and that made my time in the UK so much better at the end. It really did. I was suffering a bit from depression in Cleethorpes. Nothing that I couldn't handle, but she really brought me out of that, and I was so grateful to meet her. And she's such a lovely person, and I would always want her in my life as a friend. But that's the good thing, isn't it? I think what it's taught me is that it's nice to have friends, good friends. And again, my friends back in Cleethorpes, you know, of course I miss them. Hi guys, of course I do. But I had to do what I had to do for me to move on, and it's all kind of making sense much more now than it ever did. And my family. I miss you guys ever so much. So everything's good. But yeah, you know, had I not had made the move over here, I wouldn't have took that chance. Do you know what I mean? And that chance has opened up so many doors right now, and it continues to do that. So I think people are in our life plan for things to happen. It's just so obvious now. Without them there, then you can't go and do that which you are intended to do, or the purpose you're supposed to live. Now, I'm not saying that I'm gonna, you know, always be running companies. I really one day in the future would like a big talk show, but fuck the future and fuck the past. All that matters is now. Live in present moment. That's the best advice I can give you. Live in present moment, because Christ, you know, I can't not do the things I want to do now just because I think it's going to create any issues in the future. No. Live in the moment now. That's all that matters. So this isn't going to be my normal kind of vlog, but it's just why I moved here, what I'm doing here now. I don't want anyone to think bad of what I'm doing here. It's not like that, because it's the perspective that you come from and the reasons behind doing it as well. Most definitely. And if your intention is positive and good, and you're there to be of benefit and service to people, shit, anything's possible. But you have to come from that space. Thank you for watching. Be good to each other, be good to yourself, and remember, you're amazing.